Hello everybody. First of all, I would like to thank everybody participate into this virtual event. I hope information I am going to share will be helpful for you guys. I'm doing well, to be honest, but we have to define what is being well in our new lifestyle. I think to be able to say I'm not sick, my business still running, is the new definition of being well. So I just wish to all of you also health and running business. Transient X is a new player in cyber security industry. The company formed by ex-employees of Komodo. Headquarters is located in United States and they have sales offices on every continent. The idea comes from full coverage of attack surface. A chain is strong as weakest ring. And Transient X aims to strengthen every weak ring on a corporate network. This could be a software in a client PC or a hardware missing the necessary firmware update. Unfortunately, this even can be a company employee. Transient X gives only necessary access to applications and users. They cannot step out of their perimeters. We can manage them with access policies, and policy changes will take effect on fly. It has a controller VM, controller virtual machine, responsible for authentication and delivery of the policies. With policies, an application tunnel will be built between connector and user client installed applications. Web-based applications doesn't need to be installed on client computer. We still think VPN is the first consideration for traditional companies and CIOs. Some of them stays with VPN because of their existing investments on related products, and some doesn't even aware there is already better alternative. It will take time for ZTNA solutions to be first choice for security officers. IPsec and SSL VPN is in the market since 30 years, and all the vendors has minor or major vulnerabilities. It's very easy, even for a junior hacker, to define which IP address is the entrance of corporate network. I mean the VPN endpoint. Which firewall or VPN device they are using on this environment. What is the latest vulnerabilities available against them and how to penetrate it? This information is very easy to access just from Google, even for junior hackers. VPN takes long time and effort to implement for home workers. Some VPN technologies require static IP addresses for home users. And some vendors require hardware-to-hardware communication. And transition from corporate offices to home offices take longer time and much operational work for companies. Traditional VPN solutions are still very weak against security breaches, even if all the requirements are satisfied. For example, users logs into corporate network with their client device together. This client device get an IP address from VPN server, and with this IP address, this client device acting like physically inside of this corporate network It's not only the user, but all the applications, viruses, malware, or ransomware vulnerables logs also into corporate network together with these clients. They can spread their self to business critical resources. Users by itself will have an IP address from VPN network. Maybe his role requires him only to log on to a CRM application or any kind of particular application. But employee still have physical access to ERP or other important resources. With Transient X, we deliver application to application tunneling technology. Users can get only access to applications which is provisioned for them by policy. During usage of these applications, screenshots will not work, or even keyloggers cannot record keystrokes for the applications launched from Transient X client menu. We can define some additional DLP rules. For example, users can generate report by ERP, but we have the control if they can download it or not. We can also set some rules for downloaded documents. Exiting from Transient X application, client application, will destroy the downloaded document immediately. Or we can set up some rules that he can download the documents, he can keep it for 8 hours or 5 hours. But after the set time defined in the policy, the document will destroy itself. I just don't want to blame a technology which has served almost 30 years for us. But yes, you are right. In a perfect world, VPN technologies still secure our environment. Unfortunately, we are not in a perfect world. It's more costly, dependent to hardware. Scalability is a real challenge, hard to implement. Encapsulation technology they are using lowers the performance of application on network. Finally, we are in endless innovation era, and ZTNA going to retire VPN. This is not mine, it's Gartner's word. By Transient X, connection endpoint, I mean the controller server, which I mentioned previously, can be anywhere. On cloud, on Azure, on Amazon, or on Google Cloud, or any hosted service provider data center, we can install the controller virtual machine. End user have only controller visibility, no other IP addresses. Controller responsible only for authentication and delivery of policies. There is no enterprise data stored on it. Successful authentication, this we can also integrate with multi-factor authentication. We'll build an up-to-up, application-to-application tunnel over connector hosted with enterprise resources. Yes, connector must be residing on premises of corporate or with their corporate resources. Connector IP or DNS name is not visible to any user or any network package tracing tools like Wireshark or similar things. User can access only to applications delivered by policy. Platform itself can be integrated by Microsoft Active Directory, Okta, or any compatible authentication provider. Applications doesn't need to be installed on the client device. For example, if we have a terminal server inside of our corporate resources, we can just share the link of the terminal server, and any user can be able to access corporate applications through terminal server. But if it's a web-based application, for example, SAP Business Model, we just need the Google Chrome or any compatible browser to reach company resources. Transient X app is containerized in client device. That's why keyloggers cannot access any keystrokes during usage, or we may limit usage of screenshots. We also handle document downloads by patented container technology. What is the role of HexNode in this architecture? HexNode is a very strong mobile device management tool by itself. We more easily deliver Transient X, Android, iOS, or Windows client to endpoint devices. We may update client application to newer versions on unlimited device in few seconds. We keep corporate devices in enterprise usage perimeter more easily. Transient X security architecture can be vulnerable on stolen or lost device, and we may limit them by HexNode. We can monitor application usage metrics of home workers by HexNode. As I mentioned previously, closing security gaps is a challenging task in our new world. It's not only the remote access to corporate network, we also have to secure intensive information stored in client devices like mobile phones or mobile laptops. At that point, we improve our strength to secure companies with HexNode. I thank you very much, everybody, for the time you spent with me. I wish health and good business for all of you.